What's going on, my lovelies? It's Kyle here. So I want to talk about ascending to better and better versions of yourself. And sometimes when we are ascending to better versions of ourselves, when we are going higher, sometimes we must go lower. Now, what do I mean by this? So, sometimes the things that are keeping us from going higher, from bettering ourselves, to ascending to a more ideal version of ourselves bit by bit over time, sometimes we need to go lower. Sometimes we need to have a dark period to sift through some of the darkness. This could be summed up through shadow work. I will dive into that another day. But ultimately, sometimes the things that are holding us back are that we're holding on to too much lower emotions, darker or lower feelings, sometimes old traumas and wounds that we have not come to peace with yet, that we have not felt all those feelings and emotions, that we have not processed enough. Sometimes we need to sit with those so we can then release or shed another layer in which they hold us down, in which they hold us back. So you might find yourself in a situation or a period of time where, for whatever reason, old traumas, old wounds, past hurts, it could even be times in which you acted out of character, in which you hurt other people, in which you did not act ideally in a situation, and you're holding on to some guilt, and you're feeling bad that you hurt that person so much. We need to let go bit by bit of these lower or darker aspects of ourselves, because yes, a lot of the traumas that we hold on to, they are they're a form of aspect of ourselves. They're not the entire aspect of ourselves. They're not even the core. They're definitely not the core of who we are, but they are an aspect of ourselves. They are still wounds that are attached to us. And in order for them not to harm us, in order for them to not get in the way of our lives, and in the way of us improving ourselves, we need to face them. We need to clean them out another time. We need to process some emotions. We need to go through a darker, lower period for a moment in time to go higher. In the past, stuff like this happened to me all the time. I would have a darker, lower period where old wounds from my childhood would be coming up. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm not even in this situation anymore. I thought this didn't affect me, but for whatever reason, it was coming up more and more into my consciousness. It was affecting my day-to-day life more and more. It was always in the back of my head. So I had to devote time and space to process these emotions. I had to devote time and space to really feel them, to be with them, to try to send them some love and some understanding, to just sit with them, to be present with them, to allow these emotions to boil up and to be released from me. In these periods, a lot of the times, I purge a lot of emotions. I let go a lot of heavy, dense, lower emotions, thought patterns, whatever it may be. Because at some point along our journey, the main thing that might be holding us down, weighing us down, holding us back from ascending to higher and higher versions of ourselves, is that we haven't fully let go. Is that we haven't fully processed so we can then let go of these emotions, so we can then let go of these thought patterns, so we can then let go of some of these traumas that have accumulated over our lives, however big or small they may be. Because in the moment, it might have not seemed like it was a big deal way back when. But now the gravity might hit you in a more serious manner. Be like, oh shit, I was much more hurt by that than I thought I was. I repressed that feeling. I repressed that emotion. And the fact is, when we repress emotions, when we repress anything, as we further ourselves along on our healing journey, bringing more health to ourselves, we're going to have to face all of the things that we have repressed. We're going to have to face the truth of how we actually felt in that moment. We're going to have to face the truth of how it actually affected us and how it is currently affecting us, perhaps in a more subconscious or unconscious way. This is part of the process. Going through these darker episodes so we can then release and let go of these lower aspects of ourselves are 100% necessary. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're just frustrated, where you just don't want to deal with it, it happened so long ago, like why is this coming up now? It is okay. This is an important part of the healing, deep healing process in which we all go through. Try your best to not get too frustrated. I still do. But I try to not get as frustrated with it. And I get better over time because I intend and I actually try to. But I find, and I think you will find, that as you work your way out of one of these darker or lower episodes in which you need to go through so you can go higher, you go lower so you can go higher, you'll find that as you get out of this darker episode, you may feel lighter. You may feel more whole. You may feel that that trauma, that old wound, isn't holding you back, isn't affecting your day-to-day life. Or you may realize that it was affecting you more than it had been, that you thought it had been at least. And this is a good thing. This is a beautiful thing. This is a necessary aspect of the healing journey. This is a necessary aspect of you improving yourself, of you becoming more whole. And instead of fighting this aspect of it, it's best to understand that this is very important. It's in the moment while you're going through it, it's hard to understand this and realize this, but it is what's best for you. And it is good. It's good that these lower aspects of yourself, these old wounds, are coming up to the surface. It is an opportunity for you to work through them. It is an opportunity for you to let go and shed some layers. It's an opportunity to heal or bring more health to yourself overall. And that's a beautiful thing. It's an opportunity to help you ascend to higher and higher and higher and higher, bit by bit, little by little aspects of yourself, versions of yourself. And although it sucks, it's not easy, it is not fun. But in the long run, it is what's best for you. In the long run, it will lead to more joy, more wholeness, more happiness. So just know and trust that it'll be okay, that you will get through it, and you will continue to ascend to higher and higher versions of yourself. I'll leave it there. Hope you're having a lovely day wherever you're at in the world. And until next time.